Check out this clip from the Pre-Patch podcast.
All right, so let's talk about the big news, which if you are unfamiliar with what we were talking about, Xbox, they had a business update today. A lot of people are making fun of even the name, like business update, but if you watched it,
What it was.
it was well worth the time. It was 20 minutes long. I think that it was a good way to clear the air of rumors and some of the stuff that was out there. And what kind of kickstarted a lot of this was obviously you had the merger of Activision Blizzard, and then you had firings and layoffs. You had a rumor about exclusivity. You had Hi-Fi Rush going over to the Switch. And so it was just the rumor mills were buzzing. Sea of Thieves was another one that was rumored to go to the Switch, and grounded. And so it was just whatever. So Microsoft said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do a business update and we're gonna cover everything. So that was today. Before we dive into all of the stuff that was talked about, I want to kind of go, what did you guys think of the update?
I think it should have been last week that they did this.
I can agree with that. Yeah. I think they waited way too long.
It was great the way that they brought all the information forward, and it was a very informative 20 minutes. But there was, I definitely think, especially with blatant rumors going around, most of them that were false. You should have put your community at ease a little bit sooner. That being said, they did what they did well, and I think it was well received, and it will be well received.
Yeah. Now, I'll also point out it did build a lot of press for him as well. So
that's why I did it. Like, we're not gonna bullshit. Like somebody somewhere presser wise was like, "Yo, we can go live now, or we can get a week of press that's gonna be like it's gonna be up in the air."
Because we've seen that like Phil is not afraid of just like starting a fucking podcast. Like he's done it in the past where he's just been like, oh, something fucking happened. Like the shit that happened with fucking Redfall, right? Redfall had like a terrible fucking release, and within like a day or two, Phil had come out and was like, yeah, we fucked up. Sorry, he's not afraid of getting on. So that's the only thing that I can think of is like they were trying. For some weird reason, they were. I agree with you completely, Bill. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not disagreeing with you, but like I do think that they should have done it a lot earlier. But I do think that it was very much a.
This is a presser.
We need to build a little bit more hype for this so that we can make it a little bit bigger of a deal than it actually is.
I don't think it hurt them in any way either.
I think it hurt
the fan base a little bit.
Yeah, I think it put a lot of doubts in some of their fan base.
I think with the way they went about it, it cleared up a lot, and I think people are, more willing to forgive after hearing them out. Just because they waited a week, I don't think it was like the end of the world.
It just created a lot of unnecessary stress, like for which, let me say this, it created an unnecessary amount of stress, and you can troll me if you want. This is my opinion. Send in anywhere that you want to look. It caused a lot of unnecessary stress for a lot of people that don't know how to calm the fuck down and read into what's happening. Like you guys, all people that were out there like, oh my God, it's the fucking end of the world for Xbox. They're fucking not going to do a console anymore. Like, holy fuck, man. Like we talked about this last week. Like chill your fucking tits.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like, you and then you get fed into this algorithm of seeing this shit and whatever else, and you think that
the feedback loops.
Yeah, the Johnny Two Toes fucking Twitter account that you follow, or Jimmy Blue Balls out here on YouTube, that you get fucking the same bullshit, and now you're just like gassing yourself up. Where again, we called it, like they're releasing exclusives. They're saying there's basically going to be 4 exclusives that are coming to the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. They did not announce what exclusives are coming exactly.
We've already got rumors on what they're going to be because rumors fucking fly.
Right.
So.
Well, the rumors are being told by somebody that's pretty, like, he's well respected. I think it's Warren what was
Buffett.
his name? I forget.
Warren Buffett.
No, not Warren Buffett. Come on. He's a pretty good leader.
We didn't hear from Phil. We didn't hear from the CEO.
We didn't hear officially from them, but they were giving some pretty heavy details on what they could be.
The things that we
that's what people are using to speculate.
The things we did hear from Phil was Starfield is not going over.
Indiana Jones.
What was Indiana Jones is not going
those
over.
Were the two. Those are the only
those
two.
Those are the two that he named
that were dropped. That were not going to or that were going to remain exclusive.
But moving on to that, like the biggest things that I was impressed with was like I've got a couple of things written down here that were just outliers.
Enigma was taking notes.
I was taking notes because I was extremely interested in what was going on. Xbox, they basically, reading between the lines, this is my paraphrasing of it. Xbox is trying to strive to maintain their ability to deliver games essentially instantly on release, and for that they have to keep that subscription for Game Pass, and it's a huge deal for them to be available to those on PC as well as Xbox. Moving forward, they want, like, hardware is going to be very important for them. Phil Spencer said himself that, like, he actually used the word decades when discussing future hardware, so we can kind of extrapolate from that like a lot of rumors are basically stating that Xbox is not going to be a thing anymore. Like, there's no longer going to be an Xbox. Phil is basically stating right there, there's still going to be hardware. We're still going to have an Xbox or an Xbox-esque device, right? But they also want to focus more heavily on being able to deliver you video games that you want to play from their specific productions on whatever device you want to play them on. So whether that's your Switch, whether that's your TV, whether that's an Xbox, and whatever version of Xbox they have in a decade, right? Whether that's your phone, a PlayStation 5, or whatever the fuck comes out next, right? They just want to be able to make it so that people have the ability to play these games on whatever device they want to play them on, right? And we've talked about that in the past, where we feel like Xbox and Microsoft are going down the route of being more of a publisher rather than a like a Sony, like a PlayStation-esque or an Xbox, what they've been doing prior, right?
Well, he made the comment that I love that he made it specifically about this was the fact that he said you're going to see that exclusivity is going to slowly but surely be a thing of the past. It just and what I think is such not a conundrum, but such a double-edged sword in what we saw over this past week. Because if you take the last fucking almost 2 years of what we've heard about the Activision merger, right, and it being like, one side screaming that they're going to lock down these things and they're going to have exclusivity and they're not going to have it be played everywhere, and then last week you have this thing of like, hey, we're going to go, take some of these exclusives or 4 Xbox games and put it out other places, and then the fucking world erupting. It's like, guys, what do you want? Like, you can't have your fucking cake and eat it too. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I feel like 90% of the responsible gaming people, like the people like us, the people that listen to us, we're all about it. Like, that's the best news that they've heard.
We've been about it for a long time.
It's that, like, small fucking minority that just
is the Xbox.
Goes nuclear because they can't have their games on. Like, so they have to hold something over somebody's head.
So talking about Xbox and Activision and Blizzard as well, like, one of my favorite quotes from Phil himself was this. He says, "We've shipped games on other platforms. In fact, realistically, if you look at the addition of Activision Blizzard King, we are one of the largest publishers on PlayStation and Nintendo, and we are one of the largest publishers on mobile platforms. And that's not something that we want to back down from." So, like, that just tells you that they're completely in it to be, at this point, a publisher more than a game device company, essentially. And we've been saying that for I don't know how long, probably like the last.
I mean, Xbox has been saying this for decades. We've been predicting this forever. I think this is a smart play. I think that it is a brilliant way to go about it. I think that you're going to see, like Bill said, the very small minority. Like, I know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. And I'm going to say that I'm going to predict it here. Like, Halo will be on PlayStation. Like, Halo will come to PlayStation. I guarantee,
in one way or another. Yeah, for sure.
And the moment that it does, that minority is going to fucking lose it.
They're gonna erupt, bro.
Because it's like if Kratos showed up on Xbox. Like,
and to prove that point further, and then this is the last like little note that I actually took, right? They also, inside of that entire like discussion they had, they stated that they were focused rather like extremely heavily on the creator, right? And a lot of people were kind of mistaking that, like, wait, why are you focusing on like the YouTube creator? No, they're not focusing on the creator in terms of like the YouTube creators. They're focusing on game creators. They said that they're meaning that they want to focus on game creators having the ability to release their games on whatever platform they should so desire, essentially.
Yeah.
So
well, and they were talking about how they give them all the utilities and hardware they can need for those creators to really, flourish. Being, if they want to release it on, say, like Game Pass, being a subscription-based game, they can do that. Or if they want to just release it full and have it like on both Game Pass day one and also the option to buy it, like they have all these other options and routes that the creator can pretty much utilize. So they were talking big about that too.
No, you guys are missing it. It's this is Phil dropping a hint that they are going to focus on the creators, mainly the Twitch creators, and they're going to buy Twitch. Like that's
100%.
That's where this is going. So again, another prediction by the pre-patch podcast is coming true. So this is it was a 20-minute update. There was a few other things that I do want to cover that was dropped during that. One of which was the and this was coming this was before, right? So this actually happened about 3 days ago. But this was also kind of as the title here from our favorite Gamer Ant. By the way, we know it's Gamer Rant, like, or Game Rant. We just like to poking
there's no we. It's just you.
Yeah, it was only ever you.
Anyway, but that there is rumors of an Xbox handheld console.
They didn't talk about this on the.
They didn't talk about this on the show. No, it's just that whenever they talked about.
I talked about this last week.
Yeah, we were hinting at this. We were hinting at this, that there was rumors kind of circulating, but there's always this one. But basically, because of the comment of saying Xbox everywhere all the time, people are kind of saying, okay, so does this mean like this is an actual thing? And then there was some social posts that were done basically saying that the existence of this device actually and it's not the one that's pictured here, but has actually been leaked, and it actually is true. And
I took that quote as like, the cloud and handheld like phones and stuff, but that, I mean, very well could be a very slight rumor of this.
With them investing so much into their cloud architecture, right? There is literally no reason why they shouldn't have a handheld device.
Oh no, I fully agree. I think, especially the way everyone's been going, handhelds are really big right now. So yeah, I think they really do need to jump into that game.
Well, I think that they, if you look at the Switch market, right, they could easily do a cloud-based handheld system.
Not only the Switch market, but the Steam Deck markets. Like the Steam Deck is insanely popular, right? So it's like it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you have a handheld of some sort?
Agreed.
So
and the rumor that I heard was that like it was going to be a handheld like the Switch, where like it could be docked to a TV and become an actual So
why not?
As long as you don't have to connect to Wi-Fi and be in the same room as
your Xbox.
Yeah, then I think we'll be all right.
The other thing that was also talked about during the show was the Activision acquisition, and again, put another one in the pre-patch point column.
Hell yeah, bro.
Diablo 4 and Activision games are coming to Game Pass. So they specifically said the Activision Blizzard games are coming, with the first one being Diablo 4 coming out on March 28th.
Can I just say real fast? I don't know if you guys caught it, and I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but it was quite funny. In the actual business update they gave, when I think her name was Sarah, was giving the the news of Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass. She mentioned it and she talking big hype about it and everything, and then the interview is like, all right, and Phil, can we get back to what we were saying earlier? It's like just completely like all right, anyways, let's get back to the real news.
So I just really want to quickly point this out as well. I had to pull it back up back in March, back when the Diablo beta was first being played, right? When we had that whole fiasco of they were talking about the world first and everything like that, and when Diablo first released, right? Rob Ferguson, the lead developer of Diablo 4, stated that it's awesome that people are excited about Diablo 4 beta and our Wolfpack puppy. We've been getting some extensive questions about Diablo 4 on Game Pass. And I want to let you know, we have no plans for that. See you in Sanctuary during the beta early access weekend starting on March 17th. Right?
Wait, who said that?
This is Rob Ferguson. This is the lead designer of the. So
yeah,
this just cracks me up because back when we were talking about this, if I remember correctly, our exact words were, "Right, Rob, sure, yet."
Yeah.
So this, yeah,
the reason that they started with Diablo is because Diablo is in a very, very, very bad place right now. It's not going a good way. And I'm sorry, Lilith, and I love you, but it's just not in a good state right now. And
did you buy the $65 horse?
We'll talk about it in a minute. So that's why they're kind of starting with this one, but I still raise you guys the questions. Do you think that we will see WoW come to Game Pass?
Yeah,
I think so.
I hope so. I hope it's not a case of Final Fantasy 14 as well. I'm really hoping that they just lump a WoW subscription into Game Pass, and that's how you.
I think that
pay
would
for
be
WoW sub.
a game changer for WoW subs going on.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this then, because you bring up a good question, Enigma, as well. Do you think we will first see WoW go to console because WoW has been acclimated to Stream Decks? It's been played on fucking consoles or controllers for ages. And ages. Do you think that we see them finally go, we're putting it on Xbox?
I think you could see it at the same time.
I don't see why they wouldn't. That's the biggest thing.
On Xbox Game Pass, they could come out on Xbox at that same time.
I don't see why like them owning Blizzard. There's zero reason why they shouldn't do it, right? Like that's just added benefit, added influence, added everything to Game Pass. And again, but the caveat there is that again, it needs to not be a Final Fantasy 14 thing where you have to not only pay for Game Pass, but you also have to pay the $15 a month for WoW subscription, right? Like it needs to just be lumped in. They just need to accept that. Do I believe that it would be a good idea? Yes. Do I believe they will do it? I hope. So I really do.
But
I really do hope it. Do I believe? No, not at all. I think they're gonna milk it. They're gonna milk it for everything they can. But yeah. Thank you for checking out the Patch Notes. If you enjoyed this small selection from our podcast, come and join us every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the full unfiltered pre-patch podcast. And check out our past shows on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast.